It's another beautiful day here in North Yorkshire. I'm Steve, this is Steve Steele, and right today I've got the Rough Rover on the ramp ready to do some work on it. And for those of you who don't know, let me tell you a little bit about the Rough Rover. This is a 2003 Range Rover Vogue. It's got the 3-litre M57 TD6 engine and the early 5-speed automatic box. I've had this car for about 7 or 8 years now, and it's now done 250,000 miles. But it's not well. As you know, any Range Rover owner will tell you, these cars do have their problems. When it came to me, it had problems. Some of them I fixed immediately, like it needed new fuel injectors and it needed a new in-tank fuel pump. And back then, it looked like a pretty normal car. It looked like the sort of car you probably drive. It had, what colour is this? Blue paintwork. It didn't have any stickers on it. It didn't have any dents in it. It ran on normal wheels. And it had an interior, but over the years more things have gone wrong with it. They've been mended, some things have just been changed, some things have been ripped off. It's no longer sports the original bumper. It has a winch bumper which I fabricated. It has the beginnings of an overlanding rear bumper on it. It has the very, very standard rust that you'll find on a lot of these. Carefully covered up with plasters here, but if you were to take these plasters off, you'd find that there was rust here and here. And there's rust here. But you'll also notice the repair. This is a rock slider come sill repair. They run the full length of the sides and they wrap underneath like that and weld it on. This was a bit of a experiment, but it was also a repair to make sure it passed the MOT. We run in standard 18-inch wheels with 30mm spacers and Goodyear Wranglers, which are 255/70 R18s. We've also increased the ride height, partly by the use of the software to reset the ride height, and partly with extended tie rods to the height sensors. Under the bonnet, the standard 3-litre TD6 engine, the M57. It's got EGR deletes, boost pressure gauges. It's got all new vacuum pipe work. We've got silicone hoses for the intercooler, but otherwise it's a pretty stock engine. It's been remapped to what they roughly call a stage 1, which is about 230 brake horsepower. But why have I brought it in and put it on the ramp? Well, at 250,000 miles, it's really starting to show its age, and there's some things which I have lived with, some things which I have repaired along the ways, and some things I've ignored. But we've got to a stage now where there's so many things wrong with it, it's actually undrivable. So we're gonna mend it. At this stage, it's actually undrivable. And many people, maybe sensible people, would scrap it. I'd say it's just not economically viable. Little hint there to Nino. And honestly, it's not. It's no longer economically viable. This car is a basket case. It's scrap value. However, that's not a reason to get rid of it. Because, well, shall I go through the faults first? We'll start at the front. This engine needs a couple of new injectors. It needs 6 new glow plugs. It needs a glow plug controller. It needs a new high pressure fuel pump. It needs a new thermostat housing. It needs new auxiliary belts. What else does it need? Oh yeah, head gasket's gone. So it's filling the water system with foam. So basically the engine's buggered. Okay, engine's connected to the gearbox via the torque converter. The torque converter's failing. Occasionally it just goes rattle bang and stops working. The gearbox is actually really good, but the little XYZ switch on the gearbox has failed, and now the gearbox and the ECU no longer know what gear you've selected, and sometimes it doesn't work at all. You can't start it, you can't get it to turn over because it doesn't know if it's in neutral or park. And then when you do get it started, you put it in gear, and sometimes it just doesn't go into gear, and other times it goes into transmission failsafe, and other times it works fine, but most of the time it doesn't. So gearbox is buggered. What else could be wrong with it? Well, let's put it up, shall we? And I'll show you a little bit of what's going on underneath. Lock it. It's locked. Wheel bearings. All 4 wheel bearings are shot. And if we come underneath here, I'm going to line it back and show you. Subframe. An old repair of mine, because it cracked across here. This tie rod needs replacing because the inner bush has gone. This one has been replaced. It's got poly bushes. The outer bottom ball joint is buggered. There was something else wrong with this. Oh, I've done the poly bushes on the anti-roll bar. They have been done. The rose joints on the top and bottom of the link for the anti-roll bar are all on their way out, so they need changing. And the CV joint on that side, I think, can't remember. I've already replaced one. I think I replaced that one. The one on that side needs replacing, so we're going to do that. Here's our gearbox. You see the selector on this side, and that has a rod all the way through, and you've got the valve block in the bottom of the gearbox here, and on this side of the valve block there's a switch which tells the ECU and the gearbox what gear you've selected inside the car. And if that fails, then the engine and the gearbox don't know what gear we're in, and so it doesn't work. As you can see, we've got a bit of an oil leak going on. There's oil underneath the bell housing there. I think that is probably the output of the engine, where it connects to the torque converter. Structurally, this car, although it's got a bit of surface rust, you can see a bit of surface rust here, and you can see a bit of surface rust here, it's basically sound. There's nothing much to worry about. I mean, it'd be nice to have a new body as well, in which case it would be like Trigger's broom. We'd have ended up replacing the whole car. But, actually, the chassis is fine. Subframe, as I say, it was broken there, and I did a repair. That was actually a bit of a trail repair. It was done lying underneath the car with an old tin box that I found, and a stick welder. It wouldn't surprise me when we take this off to find that that side is broken as well. And you know, these do fail in that space. They also tend to fail where the top rail of the subframe, where the height sensor is attached, and around that area they tend to rust through in that area. It depends on the car. Some of them are absolutely fine, other ones are complete toast. So that's that bit, that's that end of the car. We'll turn around, still lying on my back because this is a medium height lift, and I can't stand up underneath the car. Gearbox subframe is fine, no problems there. The transfer box is fine. We'll probably replace, while we've got the prop shaft out, looks loose, doesn't it? We'll probably replace, while the prop shaft is out, the centre bearing, which is there, because all this has to come out. And look at this, it's all trashed. I do a bit of off-roading in this. It wouldn't surprise me if I did that, grounding it out on something. But as you can see, I mean, other than a little bit of surface rust underneath here, it's all fine. Remnants of the old side steps. I couldn't be bothered unbolting them. I just sawed them off. Oh, here you go. Here's another scrape. Those, yeah. So that's almost certainly how that happened. This is not having enough ground clearance. Right, then we come into the rear subframe. Let's have a look at the rear subframe, shall we? Oh, what a horrible thing. Okay, this is one of those things that ever since I've had the car, which is like 100,000 miles of driving and more, I've known that the rear subframe was toast. It's got a lot of surface rust and flaking and peeling, stuff that doesn't make you feel good about it. The wishbones are still there, but again, in case you don't know, I run a business salvaging these things and making them better and remanufacturing them. These are too far gone. I would not be remanufacturing these. But other things you can see, all these bushings are completely shredded. So we can get a close up of that. You see how bad that is. Right, so all of the internal end of the wishbones, all the bushings are falling apart. The way that the steering works, because you've got the back end of the car which is kind of steering itself. The top one's up there, equally bad. Diff mounts are probably fine. I've never seen one with a problem with the diff mounts. The subframe mounts themselves, well, it's difficult to see, but when we take the subframe out, we'll have a look at those and find out just how bad they are. But I suspect they're all perished and cracked and falling apart just like all the other ones. So that's that end. Shock absorbers falling apart and need replacing. Wheel bearings, outboard are screwed. The bottom rose joint here looks terrible, but is actually still serviceable, amazingly. But the top one up there, and I will demonstrate to you at some point when we get an opportunity in one of these videos, I'll show you how badly worn that is, because we'll take this hub off completely and you'll see, and I can show you, demonstrate compared to a new one, just how badly worn those are. Airbags are almost certainly fine. I've never known a rear airbag to fail. You can see we've had, now this is a weird thing, tell me if you've had this as well. That brake caliper, offside, right hand side, I've replaced 3 times in 100,000 miles. That one is an original, and that one's done probably 250,000 miles without failing. So, something weird about that. Brake backing plates, they regularly fail, they rust through, and when they do, your handbrake no longer works. CV joint boot there has failed, obviously, and I suspect the CV joint is screwed. This side looks healthier, but there's no telling until we take it off. We're going to replace the CV joints anyway. And what's that leave? Well, other than having a quick look underneath the rest of the car, not a lot. Mine has a back box delete, as you can see, and there's signs there and there of the overlanding rear bumper which I'm building for it, which you might be interested in. But the boot floor is fine. There's a little bit of surface rust and a bit of heavy flaking just here on this cross member. When we drop this subframe, I may well have a look at that with a view to knocking the rust off it and giving it a bit of protection. I might even box it in again, overbox it, or even cut it off and put a new one on. I wonder if I can get that panel. We'll have to see. We will see. If I can get hold of that panel, that would be great, wouldn't it? I could just cut that out and put a new one in, that whole cross member across there, because that does look a bit crusty. So that is what's wrong with the Rough Rover. But do not despair, because here I've got a hole just about ready to go in the car. Rear subframe. This is all good remanufactured or new parts, and this will just bolt in. We've got all new brake hoses, ABS sensors. I think on this particular one I've reused the engine mount, the mounting rubbers, simply because I didn't have new ones in stock at the time. Polybushed on the anti-roll bar. It's got new wheel bearings in it, and new top and bottom bearings there, and all new bushings for the wishbones. So this is rear subframe sorted. Now over here, yeah, this lot's in for final selection and remanufacturing, so probably not those wishbones, but a lot of this will go for pyro baking, sandblasting and powder coating, so that they can come back into circulation and rescue another L322. But this is my front subframe. So this is another good remanufactured front subframe. This one's not actually been powder coated. I can't remember why I didn't powder coat this one, but the reason it's on my car and not somebody else's is because it's been brush painted with enamel after it was sandblasted and pyro baked and everything. New front clip. This is a modified one with modified mounts for the intercooler, which set the intercooler further back. It's also got the original phone hook removed, and it's been replaced with a 2-inch receiver. We've got new remanufactured hubs with new wheel bearings in, and we've got new parts for all the steering. We've got, oh yeah, that's another thing I didn't tell you about. The Servotronic on my steering rack on the Rough Rover is not working properly, so we've got a new steering rack on this one, new second-hand steering rack, which will hopefully be better than the one that's on it. Again, polybushed. I've got the rear links here, the compression links are in the workshop, ready to drop into it. This has been in the area that I showed you on the other one, which has failed. I now add this little brace here. This is welded in to support these two and brace them and stop them from flexing where it usually breaks, which is across here or across here. So this one shouldn't fail. And that's it. So I don't know if you're going to see this in the same video, or we'll just do this as a little introduction and start the strip down tomorrow. Oh, that's what I didn't tell you. I told you how broken the engine and gearbox are. Well, my mate Chris J Parks on Facebook, if you want to look him up, is sending me, he should be here tomorrow, a 115,000 mile, I think he said, engine and gearbox to replace the one in the Rough Rover. So the work that we've got set out, I'm going to do the front end first because I want to get the car back on the road as quickly as possible. The first thing we're going to do, sort of order of works, will be take the winch bumper off, take the headlights out, take the front clip off, take the radiator out, take the oil coolers out, take the intercooler out, take this front bracket off, the tow bracket, wheels off, disconnect the hubs, push the drive shafts out of the hubs, pull the drive shafts from the engine, and then we can support the engine above, undo the 6 bolts that hold the subframe on, drop the subframe out. Once we drop the subframe out, we'll then put another pallet underneath, lower the car onto it, and undo the engine, the remainder of the parts which are supporting the engine, and drop the engine and gearbox out complete as well. Once that's out, we'll have a quick check of the whole engine bay area and make sure that we haven't got anything in there that needs any repairs and things like that. We'll also have a look at the new engine and gearbox, and I have got, even though I don't know if it needs it, I've got over here a new thermostat, new glow plug relay, and new glow plugs, and somewhere, I'm not sure where, I've also got all the auxiliary drive belts and things like that, so we'll do those while the engine is still sitting on the pallet because it'll be easier to get to. And then the assembly is the reverse of disassembly. We'll put it all back together again, and hopefully in about 2 or 3 days from now we'll be back up and driving. And I'm probably then going to take a break before I do the before I install the rear subframe, because I've got some other jobs to do. So we'll get this on the road, make sure the front end's fine, and then we'll do the rear. So that's it. Next time you see me, we'll be taking the Rough Rover apart. If you want to see that happen, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share, do all those things. It helps the channel, it helps me, and if you think I'm doing it right, tell me in the comments below. If you think I'm doing it wrong, tell me in the comments below. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye for now.